Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Smart Money Moves. I'm your host, Kareem Talloon. Today, let's talk about tax-free money in retirement, also known as the Roth IRA. First, let's understand what the Roth IRA is and isn't. The Roth IRA is not an investment like a stock, mutual fund, or ETF. It's a tax-advantaged individual retirement account to which you're able to contribute money on an after-tax basis. So you still have to choose investments inside your Roth IRA after you fund it, just like you would for a brokerage account or a 401k. The primary benefit to a Roth IRA is that when you contribute, first, the investments grow tax-free, and qualified withdrawals are tax and penalty free after age 59 and a half. Here are the contribution limits for 2023 and 2024. You get a slight inflation adjustment for 2024. Unlike a 401k where you have to get your contributions in prior to December 31st, you have until April 15th to make an IRA contribution for the previous year. Now let's dive into the three different ways you can grow your Roth IRA: contributions, conversions or rollovers, and earnings. I share this because each have different rules on when you can access the money without tax and without penalty. Let's start with contributions. One of the best features of a Roth IRA is that at any time and at any age, you can pull out your contributions you've made completely tax and penalty free. It doesn't matter if you're 30 or 70. You can pull that money out at any time. So let's look at an example. Let's say you're 35 years old and you've contributed $5,000 each of the last 2 years, and now your Roth IRA has grown to $12,000. You didn't anticipate this, but now you're in a crunch and need access to quick cash. You can pull out $10,000 of your Roth IRA completely tax and penalty free. We talked about the contributions. Now on to earnings, or the growth portion of your Roth IRA. There are a different set of rules here on when you can access these free and clear. There is something called the 5-year rule, and there are two very distinct ways it applies to Roth IRAs. The first 5-year rule has to do with the age of your Roth IRA account. You must wait for 5 years after your first contribution before you can withdraw any of your earnings, meaning the growth of your Roth IRA without taxes. Keep in mind that if you pass the 5-year mark but are still under the age of 59 and a half, a 10% penalty still applies. The 5-year clock has to do with tax years. So you could essentially make your first contribution on December 31st of 2024 and get credit for all of 2024 as your first year. Because of the aggregation rule, all of your Roth IRAs are counted as one, meaning your 5-year clock on contributions start when the first dollar touches your first Roth. The second 5-year clock has to do with conversions. For those who don't know what a conversion is when you're converting pre-tax dollars either from a traditional IRA or a 401k with pre-tax contributions to a Roth IRA. Each conversion that you make, if you're under 59 and a half, has its own 5-year clock until you turn 59 and a half. So let's say I'm 40 years old. I do a Roth conversion of $10,000 from my 401k to a Roth IRA. I would have to wait until I'm 45 to access my earnings tax-free. But since I'm not 59 and a half yet, I would still be subject to a 10% penalty. Once you're 59 and a half, the 5-year clock on conversions go away, assuming that you've already satisfied the 5-year aging requirement for contributions. Some of the other quick benefits I'll touch on: ability for backdoor Roth conversions. So if you're over the income limits, there is a workaround to be able to get money into a Roth IRA. Unlike traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs are not subject to RMDs. Funding Roth IRAs, whether through contributions or conversions, will lower the probability of being hit with Medicare premium surcharges down the road. Since there are no RMDs from Roth IRAs and withdrawals are tax-free, you're not increasing your adjusted gross income unlike you would from taking distributions from a traditional IRA. If you have no earned income, but your spouse works and has earned income, you may still be able to make a Roth IRA contribution with spousal eligibility, assuming you're under the income limits. If you thought this was helpful, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Smart Money Moves.